welcome to Player 2 Start. Today's podcast is about celebrities in video games, but first we have some things to talk about, some recent news. And we have just opened up our Discord to the public. Jock, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Sure. So our Discord is called Player 2 Start. You'll see the link in the description of the video, and I think we should put it on the channel information as well. If you ever want to hang out with us, please play video games together all the time. We've got a bunch of friends here. You want to come hang out with us, just say hi, recommend games, talk about food in my Delicious Boulevard channel, where I post food pictures that people get jealous of all the time. Cat putting tahini and Sak making weird faces about tahini on watermelon. Whatever.
Delicious. It's so good.
It just sounds like you can't do that. I don't know.
You can't yuck my yum. It's so good.
You can't yuck your yum. I prefer watermelon, but whatever floats your boat. Anyway, so our Discord is open to everybody. It's a community Discord. Come and hang out with us. We will be starting a D&D campaign soon as well. Other than that, you're welcome to join us, watch our videos here. We'll be cross-posting them on the Discord as well in case you missed something. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think we should talk about what's
We also have
happening.
pets. We have a pet channel. Please show us your pets, all of your cats.
Yeah.
Let us get to know them.
All of your cats, specifically
cats and dogs, all pets. All pets are
cats
welcome.
all the time. It could be anything. It could be dogs.
It could be ants.
Could be lizards.
It could be birds named cat. It could be whatever.
Ants, because I like ants.
Yeah, I know cat. I know how much you like cats. Anyway.
We also have a music channel, which I like because I love music and of all genres and types. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I get bored with my playlists and people throw links in there, and so it's kind of nice.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna look. We're definitely gonna look into putting more effort into this Discord and making it a home for us. Yeah. So hopefully you guys will join us on that endeavor.
Oh yeah, and I want to ask. I know what I've been playing these days, and guys know what I've been playing these days. I don't want to talk about that yet because I want to know what you guys have been talking about, because when I'm going to talk about it, it's going to take me a few minutes, So I'll let Sakurai, you go ahead. Tell us what you've been playing.
All right. So I've been trying to catch up on a lot of games that I haven't really finished. And because everybody's like, hey man, why don't you play Baldurs Gate with me, man? And I'm like, well, I have a backlog of like 30 games I have to play. I still haven't played,
some not even downloaded.
Yeah, I don't even have some of them downloaded. I'm like, I have to go through these, and I don't want it to feel like a chore. So I really want to enjoy the old games that I have. And you know what? Recently I tried to play that somebody recommended to me. It was made by Rockstar a long time ago called Bully. And I bought the game, and I was like, oh, this is like from like 20 years ago, but I still want to play it.
Yeah.
I bought the game off of Steam. I downloaded it, and it won't run. It just won't run. And I was like, why?
All the more reason to buy Baldurs Gate 3. All the more reason. It's a calling. It's a calling.
Don't listen to them.
Other than that, real life duties, being a dad, and lots of martial arts I've been involved in.
Yeah.
So just get my butt kicked by 20-year-old guys.
Come on, they're children.
They're children to me.
They're children. They're like 15, right? Kicking your butt.
There are some teenagers in some of the adult classes, and some of them are bigger than me.
So, I believe it.
Yeah.
What about you, Kat? Other than Sak being old, what about you? What have you been up to?
I've been playing a lot of BattleBit. I recently just went out of town, but before then I was playing probably too much BattleBit, and now there's been this huge update. So I do this thing every time where if I take a few days off, I kind of like start something new, and then so who knows? Maybe I'll play more BattleBit, maybe not. And then I did play a little bit of Stardew Valley as a chill game, but I realized while I was out of town, because I took my Switch, that I still have a lot of work to do in Zelda. So I want to try to
Nice.
make some time to knock out some of those side quests that I kept putting off. I would like to get to at least 70% in this game. I don't think I will get to 100% anymore because that's just
Yeah.
really too much. But I'm at like 55% now. I'd like to get to 70. Other than that, I did go to my first ever gaming convention yesterday.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're telling us
Game
about that.
On Expo in Phoenix, and it was really cool. I've never been to one, but I've always wanted to go to any kind of convention, really. There was a ton of people there, a lot of cosplay. I got to take some pictures with some of the people dressed up. I think the coolest dressed up person I saw was the pixelated. Why it's on the tip of my tongue? Told you guys earlier. Yeah, Mandalorian. I don't know why I couldn't remember that word. But pixelated Mandalorian, that was a really cool costume. And I got some little knickknacks. I got a little Korok.
Nice.
And then I got a couple of Star Wars bracelets. I got an Ahsoka one and a Thrawn one. So very excited.
Rocking them bracelets.
Yeah, but now I'm back in town. I did that, and now I don't know. I might start a new game soon. I'm trying to think of if I want to pick up something new. Like Sak said, I have so much on my list I haven't touched.
Yeah.
And everyone keeps talking about. Have you guys heard of this game, Baldurs Gate 3? Everyone keeps talking about this game, and I'm like, I have so many games that were $70 that I haven't even downloaded. So
let me ask you something real quick about the convention.
Yeah.
So when you went there, like how is it? Because I've also never been to a gaming convention, right? Mm-hmm. How is it like set up? Like when you walk into the doors and it's just like a big open room, is there like a set of protocol that you have to go through to get in?
Yeah, there was a long line, and then your pass is on your phone. You scan it, and I got a cool little lanyard. But then you walk through like double doors of this huge open room, and then in this case, off to the right was a ton of gaming setup. So people, there were consoles everywhere, and it was more based around retro gaming and anime. There were a couple of stages set up, and you could tell that there were people in line to play the game, and people will watch people compete at the convention, which is really cool.
So there are guys like just waiting in line to play whatever they're playing.
Yeah, this one had a ton of pinball games and other like retro arcade style games set up that were free to play. Yeah, the line to get in wasn't even that bad either. But then they have tons of vendors set up that they make things and take to sell, and
that is neat.
A lot of really cool artwork. We'll try to post some pictures so that listeners our viewers can see, but a lot of cool artwork. I probably spent like $150 on stuff yesterday because I was just and there are things that I didn't get that I wish that I had. But there's another really cool one coming up, UwuCon. And I think it's going to have a lot of Star Wars stuff going on. So I'm going to try to make that one. And you both need to come out to Arizona because in March, there's another game on Expo. And it's going to have the voice of Zelda and a ton of other really well-known like voice actors. So you guys should come out for that. Awesome. I'm just saying we could record it, make it a little episode.
Spending $150 on a gaming convention that doesn't happen that often is pretty good. But coming to Arizona, you know how hot it is here in Texas. It's 117.
But this is in March. It's going to be wonderful.
105 feels like 117. You go outside, you're melting. Arizona is worse. I don't want to die.
It'll be in March though, so that'll be in the 6 weeks of
the less hot.
When you can go outside.
The 6 weeks out of the year of less hot. Anyway, all right. So
tell us, Jalk. Tell us about
tell us what you've been up to.
Yeah. All right. So Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the best games that I've played in a very long time. Like, okay, so we talked about.
Don't lie to me. Tell me the truth.
Okay, listen. Categorically, right? So the best FPS that I played in a very long time was BattleBit, and I played it for a little bit. Now I'm bored of it, so I'm not playing it anymore. But we all played it. We had a good time. We played together. It has its moment. But it only goes on for so long that I can play a game like this. I'm a big fan of RPG style games, CRPG, all that stuff. Like I was a big fan of the Oblivion series, Elder Scrolls series. Oblivion was, one of them. Then Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, Fallout 4. Skyrim.
you ever into
But those are more in the
JRPG?
first person. CRPGs. So I played first Divinity. I played Diablo 2 back in the day. You know, I'm a big fan. I did not play Divinity Original Sin 2. So these Divinity and Divinity Original Sin 2, and then Baldur's Gate 3 are made by Larian Studios, which everybody knows. But this game, made by 400 people, right? It was an early access too. It was an early access game for a little bit too. But when they finished the game, they have released this absolute masterpiece of a game that's insanely good. Like, it's not just good, and they're so good that other game studios, if you look up the news, are so jealous. They're trying to, and their news about them trying to sue them, like, hey, they're trying to set the standard up so high for video games now. People should not expect this much from studios, from AAA studios. Get the out of here.
So what's the peak again? What's the peak you keep telling me? Because
hold on, I keep telling you, right? I'm on Steam right now. I'm on Steam. Today's Sunday, right? We're recording on a Sunday, so it's a weekend. 850,000 people playing this game right now. 850, almost 1 million people are playing this game right now. Overwhelmingly positive. The game, I don't know how to describe it. It's a Dungeons and Dragons, right? So you've got your you've got different worlds in D&D, and then in this one you have one exotic race, which is the Githyanki, and the story's pretty much not based around them. They're a strong aspect of it. Then you've got your typical races. You've got the half orcs, the half elves, the elves,
right now.
humans, halflings. You've got gnomes. You've got you got all these races. You got barbarians, monks. I'm a bard. I like playing as a bard. I inspire. My character is like lawful good. Lawful good character that.
So is it worth $70?
Yes. More, if not. I'm not kidding.
What?
Whoa, you're a tough crowd too with that. So I believe if you say it, I believe it.
I'm very, very. I look for sales. I look for sales before I buy a game. This game. Okay, I paid $60 for the game, right? $70, $60 for the game. I have roughly 100 hours so far, and I bought this game. I didn't buy it on the first day of release.
100 hours. What? No life in this?
Have you slept?
Okay, listen, I have to stop myself. Last night I stopped myself at 2:00 in the morning. I was like, I need to go to sleep.
Wow.
So I stopped. I was like, I need to go down. I was up at 7 a.m. this morning. I got like 5 hours of sleep. That's plenty. But regardless, right? I have been. So I bought this game last Sunday. So I've had it for a week. I haven't played today because I was getting ready for the podcast.
Hours in a week, man.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, listeners, you got to know that yes, maybe Sak and I are giving him a hard time, but it's because he hasn't been hanging out with us. It's not.
I
not
have been ignoring everybody. People have been messaging me, "Where you at?" I was like, "It's so good." You start and the choices. Okay, you have the typical RPG game where you have the choice. You start a character. Okay, you can say yes or no. You can say yes or no, but the end goal is the same. You have maybe like 3 endings, right? 17,000 variations of endings of this game. 17,000. You can play the game however you want. You want to kill these people even though they're good people? Sure. You want to be evil? Sure. You want to be good? Sure. You want to be neutral? Sure. You want to be a gold hugging rat? Like you just want to grab everything and sell everything and pickpocket? You can play however you want.
Okay, do we know a guy that already finished to the end?
Yeah, so we know one guy that powered through to the end. So the last stats that the dev team posted, right, on Friday, after 1 week of release, was that only out of all the thousands upon thousands of people that have bought this game, like 1 million people maybe, because the numbers 850,000 playing right now, I'm pretty sure they've sold more than 1 million copies. Yeah, only 338 people finished it in a week. Wow. I am like in Act 3 now, and I'm still taking my sweet time. And your choices matter. You are too late. You didn't save this person because you decided to take a rest. You decided to take a rest and not save these people. Oh, guess what? Now they're dead. You're like, what? And you progressively.
Let me ask you, is this like a game of the year type of game?
More than that, I was called game of the decade.
What?
I am fanboying hard right now.
You're...
Okay. No game has given me this much story. You see a squirrel under a tree. You drink an animal speaking potion. You can talk to the freaking squirrel.
I don't know, man. You sound a
little
crazy right now.
Can you co-op this game, or is it just solo?
So 4 people co-op. You can play with your friends. You can play with randoms, but I wouldn't. I mean, that's my prerogative, but I prefer playing with friends. yes, it's an amazing game. It's got an amazing voice cast. Okay, it's amazing, and that's the topic of today, that we're talking about, like video game voice actors and Hollywood and all that jazz, right? And as much as I'm fanboying over this game, and as much as I'm having fun, and as soon as you're done here, I'm gonna be playing that game for the day. I've got people to feed, free.
Free feed, kill, whatever you want to do. You can do
whatever I want to do.
Like a 2023 Fable.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's such a good game. Like you have to play to figure. You will forget every other game that you have. I haven't played anything but this game. Like, I'm a big DCS guy.
Like I like an addict right now.
Yeah.
I was
out on some Baldurs Gate 3.
I was playing
get ahead of this.
like flying planes, like taking off aircraft carriers. I showed you, like, I was playing that DCS last week, and as soon as this game comes out, I'm like, on the first day, I'm like, maybe I should watch a few streams. Okay, it does look good. It does look good. Everybody's playing it. Maybe I should try it.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
I waited. Right on Saturday evening, I was like, I already bought a game this month. It's full price. So I bought it on Saturday night, and I downloaded on Saturday night, and I started on Saturday night. I spent over an hour in character creation. I was just like, ooh, maybe I should be this. Maybe I should. I'm a half elf bard. That's my character. High elf bard, and I like it, and I've been enjoying it. Anyway, my second playthrough, I'm gonna be extremely evil, but that's for later, when I'm actually done with the, with my current playthrough, which is still gonna be a while. I'm walking around like watching perform. It's fun. It's hilarious. The dialogue is
really high elf.
I'm glad that you guys are having fun playing it. We miss you. That's all I'm saying.
I'll come back.
I'll
come back.
Because here's what would happen. Let's say Sak and I finally, like 3 weeks from now, are like, you know what? Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
All y'all would be done. And we'd be the only ones in there. It was like every other time when this happens.
That meme, right?
Just like with BattleBit.
You can't be done with this game. That's the problem. You can play it so many times and have a completely different experience every time.
You said I put so many hours into this game. What did you say?
It's 1,200 years worth of hours, 10 million hours. And this was as of Friday. All players combined, 10 million hours.
Technically, high elves
look in the mirror. You're a nerd too. All right. Anyway, I'm going off topic. I'm talking about Baldurs Gate. It's an amazing game. I love it. If you haven't played it, watch some streams.
We'll have a support group by the time the next episode airs.
We'll have a support group in our Discord. Come hang out. You won't see me there. You won't see me there. I'll probably be on Steam playing Baldur's Gate. Be like, hey man, you okay? Anyway, moving on.
So who voice acted in?
So it's an insane voice cast, right? But one of the most prominent ones that you will notice, that I noticed, right? So in Act 2, you face a villain, one of the main villains of the game. I don't want to spoil it for people. Yeah, a baddie. The villain that I'll just name the character, right? I'm not gonna name the character, but he's a general.
You can't do that to us.
The bad guys, okay? He's a general of the bad guys, a main bad guy, one of the main bad guys, or good guys, or I don't know if you're playing good or if you're playing evil or you're playing neutral. So it all depends on how you look at it. Okay, he's played by J.K. Simmons, and J.K. Simmons, I don't know if you guys know, he's a Academy Award winner for his acting in a supporting role. He's voice acted, and he's been on the silver screen, he's been on Hollywood big screens, he's a TV shows, you name it, right? And he's voice acted so many animated series too. He did Omni-Man and Invincible, which is a really, really cool animated show. If you have not seen on Amazon, it's amazing. So J.K. Simmons voiced this actor, and he did such a spectacular job. Like, as soon as you hear the voice, you're like, I know this voice. So I looked it up who it was, and I saw it. And
he's been in so many movies too.
Oh yeah, he's been in so many movies, so many TV shows, like so many animated series that he's voiced over. And when I heard his voice, I was like, this sounds so familiar. And when I saw it, I was so pleasantly surprised and happy to hear him voice acting for a studio that has done an incredible job in all three of their games, which is Divinity 2, and then Baldur's Gate 3. He did a spectacular job, and and while we're at it, let's just go on to the topic that we have for our podcast today, which is not Baldur's Gate 3, but it is about actors that have made
Celebrity voice
appearances,
actors.
celebrity voice actors, people that became celebrities, people
Mm-hmm.
that were celebrities, so on and so forth. And I will throw the ball in Cat's court.
Okay, so the very first celebrity I recognized in a video game was Kevin Spacey in Advanced Warfare. This was a million years ago. I think it's like 2014.
Mhm.
Whenever I
Million
was
years
also also at the same time watching the House of Cards, and so I just remember being on I lived in Texas at the time, and I was on my couch playing on console, and I just remember going, oh, I recognize that voice, and it was like a moment. So it kind of stands out as, I don't know, probably one of my favorite celebrity voice actors in a video game. But I mean, there are tons. And I know that even, recognizing Cameron, I think his last name's Monaghan from Shameless, as Cal Kestis was like, whoa, wait a second. I remember that was the first. I mean, I knew with Kevin Spacey in Advanced Warfare that the character looked like him too. But I think seeing Cameron Monaghan as Cal Kestis, that's when it first clicked that like, oh, they actually, it's not just a voice. Like it's
the entire character.
It's the entire character in the video game, and I think that's super cool. I mean, I don't know what for you guys. Do you guys remember like the first time?
There are so many games.
I'm sure a ton, and you guys have played way more than me too. But now I wonder if I ever missed any.
There was one game that recently came out that didn't do so well, but it had a ton of freaking celebs. It was called Crime Boss Rockay City. Remember we talked about this one?
Yeah, I think we even thought about playing that.
Yeah, and when it dropped, we looked at it and we were like, I don't know about this, because of the gameplay aspect of it. But it did have so many famous actors. Vanilla Ice. Well, he's not an actor, but Vanilla Ice was in it. He's a big celebrity.
Yeah.
Danny Glover, he's a big actor. Danny Trejo, another one. Chuck Norris.
What?
Singer. I mean, it had so
many. It had Chuck Norris.
I wonder if this game has like the most titled people, you know what I mean, like the most like big names in a game, because I've never heard of another game having this many.
It's like watching the Expendables with all the 80s superhero cast.
And it was set in the 80s basically. So
nice. There you go.
Not the 80s, set in the 90s. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But like it's a sad to see that even with all those big names, the game still kind of flopped in the end.
I wonder if the names had an effect on the sale, or even how much money they put into making it.
For sure, it probably costed them a lot of money just to have the rights to use their voice likeness and to hire those actors.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But I mean, there's a lot of things. You can have like a star-studded cast and the movie can still flop, and the same goes with video games. The content is not there, production is bad, marketing is bad. Any one of those aspects can, completely destroy a video game or a movie.
Now you can't blame it on their acting, because they are, very famous actors, and I'm sure people just bought the game just to have that opportunity to play those people. But on the other side, if you don't have a great game, it doesn't matter if you have Chuck Norris or not. He's not going to save your game. You know.
This is true. He will roundhouse kick you though.
Yeah.
Anyway, another a name that I can talk about is Lance Reddick, who recently passed away from a heart disease, if I remember correctly. That was released by his family, but you guys will know him from John Wick series, as he is the concierge at the hotel. But he played Commander Zavala in Destiny 2. Now, I did play Destiny 2 for quite a bit, and as soon as I heard his voice, I knew exactly who he was. So he himself was a big Destiny 2 player as well, so, rest in peace, Mr. Reddick. But he did an exceptionally good job. And he did not become popular with Destiny 2, but his voice did make an impact as one of the lead roles in Destiny 2, which was amazing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and we have a whole list down here. Like I put some names on here. I know Sak and Kat, you guys put a bunch of names on here. Like, there's Neil Patrick Harris has played as Spider-Man in some of the games.
Oh yeah, I saw that before.
So
Yeah.
Mark Hamill, which everybody knows as the original Luke Skywalker, played. He also does voice acting for a lot of animated series.
Batman series. In
Yeah,
particular.
Batman series. He played Joker in that. He's a very famous name. Charles Dance. Not a lot of people know him by his name, but he was the Lannister head from Game of Thrones.
Mhm.
He played the part. He voiced the Emperor in The Witcher 3, which is also an amazing game. If you have not played to this day, it's also a very story-rich game and a fun
Speaking
game.
of Witcher 3, Henry Cavill, who plays Geralt in the Witcher 3 or in the Witcher series on TV, he also played heavily the Witcher 3 series.
He's a big gamer.
Yeah, he's a big gamer.
Yeah.
And so like he kind of took that role from the game, and from the books as well, and like portrayed it very well in the series.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like, okay, there was a celebrity in the game, but also like a celebrity taking stuff from the game and kind of portraying it on the screen. Is awesome to see that.
Doesn't it make them seem so much more relatable to find out they're gamers or even interested in gaming? And
watching his interviews when he talks about his Warhammer 40k army and everything, you start nerding out, especially Sakurai. Like, ooh, he's talking about 40k. We're talking about 40k, not Warhammer specifically, but 40k. But anyway, Sag, I know you want to talk about Keanu.
Oh man, Keanu Reeves playing in Cyberpunk 2077. What an amazing performance he did. He kind of made that game.
He did.
That's what I've heard. I haven't played it, but
kind of made that game so in depth with his acting, right? I mean, let's say anybody could have played that role. Okay, if you put anybody else in that role, I just couldn't see it now. Now that I played through Johnny Silverhand, you can't. I can't see anybody else taking that role, and he does such a well job portraying that character. It's almost like he's very relatable to that character. Like he in real life, Keanu Reeves has his own band. So it's like it's kind of like
he's kind of a badass just in general.
He is a badass.
He's an immortal. He's lived through so many times.
He did, and I watched some things that he did. The full where he puts the suit on and they do his whole body movements and stuff through, and he acted through that thing the whole
so
game.
Cool.
He put a lot of effort, and he's used to that kind of stuff from the Matrix movies, right? But like he actually did the same type of setup for that game, so like he went real heavy into that.
No, absolutely. I think
he's gonna reprise his role in the new expansion coming September for Cyberpunk.
He is.
Yeah, he's gonna.
You know who else is in that, right?
Go ahead.
They added Idris Elba into the expansion.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, so Idris Elba is a very popular British actor that has appeared in Hollywood a lot as well.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, so he's a good actor too, and he's been in a lot of recent movies, and I can't remember, on top of my head, but he's also going to be in that expansion. I guess it's going to be a nice collaboration between Idris Elba and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how big of a role he plays in the new expansion, but I did see an interview where he said he does, reprise the role. Yeah. So I'll be excited to play that. I was a huge Cyberpunk 2077 fan.
Yeah.
I know life that. But I mean, actors getting into games is nothing new. For sure, some older actors, or older as in maybe my generation. not old, not in age, but like some actors that from my generation will recognize, maybe Mathew Perry from Friends. He played in Fallout New Vegas as Benny, one of the characters in there, and he got that role by just giving a copy of Fallout to Ellen DeGeneres on her show, right? She then the studio contacted him and they made a deal, so he got into the game
Interesting.
just by him being a gamer of that, being
That's
a fan
awesome.
of that
Very
series.
cool. Yeah, that is very cool.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson, everybody knows him.
Yep.
From his he's got like a discography of freaking films that he's in. But he was in GTA, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. He played the police officer named Frank Tenpenny.
I know we talk about like celebrities in video games, but for this episode, doing some research, I went back and I was just kind of like watching some gameplay of Advanced Warfare, and I recognized another voice, and I was like, I recognize this voice. I don't know what from, and his name is Gideon Emery. And I think the reason I recognize his voice is because now he's not some huge celebrity, but if you look him up, he is in tons of video games: Diablo, Star Wars, World of Warcraft, a couple of Call of Duties, Destiny, Battlefield 2042. This guy is in so many games as a voice actor. And so it made me think, well, sometimes maybe that's his passion. Maybe it's not he's an actor. You know what I mean? It just kind of put a little bit of a spin on the perspective for me. And I thought it was pretty neat. He was even in Star Wars Old Republic, and that's probably where I recognized him from, because I recently watched all the cinematics from the Star Wars video games.
Oh yeah, Star Wars: The Old Republic. I played that game a lot. A lot. Yeah. All right. So Samuel L. Jackson is not, pretty popular for his charitable donations as well, other than his, famous characters from Pulp Fiction and all Snake on a Plane. You name it, is badass characters that he plays. But let's beep that part out. But some notable names, right? That were famous during a certain era and then came into video games and made video games popular as well. Keanu Reeves was gaining again popularity from John Wick, and as soon as he appears in Cyberpunk blows up. For Death Stranding, it was Norman Reedus, who I first saw in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels a long time ago, gained popularity again from The Walking Dead, and as soon as he appears in a Hideo Kojima game, and it became popular as well. So there are a lot of names like that promoted a game just because of their appearances. I know a lot of people know this name, Kiefer Sutherland. He's a famous actor, especially for television. He did Solid Snake's voice in Metal Gear 5. So he did that as well. But there's one actor that I know you guys know as well that gained popularity from a video game because of its insane character role.
Oh yeah, I know you're going
from GTA 5. So Stephen Ogg, right? He's a Canadian actor. He plays Trevor Phillips, right? Trevor is insane. When you finally meet Trevor,
a crazy guy, man.
It was a breath of fresh air for video games that gave popularity to GTA 5. You had the typical guys, but then you had Trevor, and Trevor was insane. And Trevor's character was so fun to play and insane, and the dialogue is so good. Yeah. You get to play as Trevor, and it's so much fun to play Trevor, right? Because of its insanity and his dialogue. That character is even the physical appearance of that character is of actual Stephen Ogg, and Stephen Ogg gained popularity from playing Trevor so much that he appeared in a bunch of shows. He played a character in Better Call Saul. He was in The Walking Dead as a minor role. So he appeared in TV shows after that and in some movies as well as minor roles. But he gained popularity from GTA 5 so much that he started appearing on more and more in television shows. As far as I'm tracking that I saw, I didn't see him in any roles prior to that. But just because he played that role so insanely well, it gave him the propulsion to become more popular.
Such an off-the-rails character too.
Yeah, such an off-the-rails, such a good character, such good voice acting. And we can keep going on about popular names in video games like Patrick Stewart. Patrick Stewart is one of the biggest names in Hollywood, and he plays the Emperor of Tamriel in Elder Scrolls 4: Oblivion. So he also made an appearance. So there have been a lot of big names in video games, and a lot of names that have come out of video games. And video games do make a massive impact on people's careers as well, I feel.
Yeah, I'm sure it gets some exposure in front of, certain people. Because now that we know these actors and actresses, and I mean, gaming is not just for one type of person. Gaming is can be an outlet for anyone.
Oh yeah.
So I loved finding out that Mila Kunis was a big gamer. She was a big WoW gamer, and I already was like fangirling her. And then I was like, okay, she earned so much XP with me. And I always find it fun to find out stuff like that about celebrities or people that you just wouldn't think, I guess.
Yeah. She was in Saints Row as well. She played a
small played the Saints Row series. Yeah.
You know who I think is also like a big nerd, and you wouldn't even think about it, is Vin Diesel. He's actually really big into D&D.
Really?
Yeah, and he was so he made that film Chronicle Reddick, and then he was so into like games and stuff at the time that he actually made a studio that produced the game Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher Bay. And it became a really well known. I mean, there was also another dev studio involved in it, so it was a collaboration. But like, he made a whole company just to make the game. You know, I was like, wow, that's pretty darn impressive. Like, and pretty dedicated.
I feel like he could crush a controller with his bare hands. Like if he gets mad in the game, just
he wouldn't if it was a family controller.
That's right. Yeah, I was really surprised.
I had to throw a dad joke in there. Okay,
yeah, you did. I loved it.
I had to. Being a dad, it's important to have those dad jokes inside our podcast.
I was just so super surprised to learn that he was like into D&D and stuff, and he's known for that stuff. And I was like, wow, like this really big bulky guy into D&D. It's just not normal, right? It's not normal social things that we expect from a guy that's like into bodybuilding.
I want to know what his character is, though. That would be fun. Like, is he a barbarian? Is he a cleric? Is he a fighter? What is he play?
There are some like YouTube videos of where he shows like him playing D&D with other people.
I have to look it up now.
Yeah, that sounds pretty interesting.
The last thing that I want to talk about is Giancarlo Esposito, and we all know that name. Everybody knows him as Gus. Everybody knows him as Gus, and he says everybody knows him as Gus. But he played the big bad guy as Anton Castillo in Far Cry 6. Far Cry 6 is something that me and Sak were playing for a little bit.
Yeah, that's another game I need to finish.
Yeah, so
I'll join you for co-op on that.
All right.
I kind of lost interest in the game. I don't know.
Baldurs Gate came out.
No. So
just kidding. I know it's been a while.
It's been a while. I just kind of got bored of it because I guess the Far Cry series, it's become so repetitive. The same thing with Assassin's Creed. Like I was so excited about Assassin's Creed Mirage, but unless Ubisoft brings out some game-changing mechanics to Mirage, I think I'm gonna wait for sales. I'm not gonna play it right away. I think I'm gonna take a little breaks. But anyway. Yeah,
it is. It does have a repetitive thing, but if you're looking for that type of gameplay, it feels niche.
Yeah,
like it has that sense of achievement. Hey, I did this mission. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Now next mission. So it's kind of like a casual style adventure game where
it would be really cool if they did a Star Wars game with him in it, since he was also in. I think it'd be cool if he voiced himself in a game about Moff Gideon.
I would love that.
Pretty cool.
I think there should be a game with him and Thrawn, and it just be all about whatever that connection is there.
Oh yeah. Do you remember that game where you played as one of the Empire? It was a woman lead character, and you played as the Empire side, and I really like to see like the other side of the story, not just like the good guys, like the rebellion, right? I also like
that's what you call them.
Oh, okay.
Gotta sit in the making right here.
Well, I'm not gonna go into that, but
I agree though, 100%.
I think it's nice to see the other side of the stories, and see their psyche, especially like in Mandalorian season 2. Spoiler alert. No spoiler. Okay, I won't say it. But there is you get to see a different side. Of the difference between good and evil in that, and there's some kind of gray areas too.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Enough about.
But no, I
Celebs.
did see season 2. I
was gonna
haven't
say,
watched
if you
season
haven't
3.
seen season 2,
No,
that's your problem.
season 3.
Like-
Season 3. Yeah, I haven't seen season 3. Okay, I've seen season 2. You can. I just started.
Also in season 3, there's also that aspect of gray area,
Yeah.
especially from some characters. I won't
Gray
say any
Jedi.
spoilers. I'm sorry. I will stop talking about Star Wars. Another popular actor that I was surprised to see, and I played through this whole trilogy, and I had no idea that the voice actor was Elijah Wood in Spyro, in the trilogy for Spyro, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
I had no idea that Elijah Wood played that. And Elijah Wood, of course, is Frodo Baggins from Lord of the Rings. That's probably what everybody
Mr.
would know.
Frodo.
Yes, like I played through that whole series and I had no idea it was Elijah Wood.
I think I've played one Spyro game and I've not even finished it. Like I was playing it with my kid and I was teaching her.
It's a
This was
great
while ago.
family game.
It was
I don't
it
think
was a
I've
fun
played it
game.
in forever.
Yeah,
Like
it's
on
a fun game.
console
Mhm.
forever.
But anyway.
It's really good to play with your kids. If
Let's
any dads out there looking for a co-op game.
yeah, we could
Yeah.
talk about celebrities and video games all day if we wanted to, but
But we don't.
but we don't have the time. I mean, we cannot make a 24-hour podcast. We would rather do it live than, But anyway, some questions for you. Did a specific or any celebrity appearance sell a game for you like it sold Cyberpunk for us, me and Sakurai, when you saw it, we did Norman Reedus' appearance and that's like his main character in Death Stranding sell the game to you. Tell us, like, does it influence your decision to buy a game? If it does or does not, write to us, or tell us, do you have a favorite celebrity appearance that has so far appeared in a game in a main character or a sub character or however you want, and if there is a celebrity you would like to see in a game, that would be cool though. Is there a celebrity either one of you would like to see in a game?
I actually do have two, and maybe these are in games, but not games I've heard of. So for me, I would really like to see Sophie Turner or Emilia Clarke in a game, just because of their roles in Game of Thrones. I think them as like a main character in something would be really cool. And then Tom Hardy, I know he's in a game, maybe more than one, but I only know him in like the scary game. I would like to see him in like a Far Cry role or something where he's the main character. It's not scary, but he's just, I don't know. I think he would be really good in something like that. Far Cry, or even like Assassin's Creed or something, because his voice is nice.
I would pick somebody like that has very specific voice characteristics, like Christopher Walken or something, or
Oh, genius! Yeah,
like
Yeah.
you would like really know who they are just from the way they talk or they speak. Or like Adam Sandler, like he has such a wacky style of speaking, like you would automatically recognize him and his character. Just somebody like that. I think that would be cool, just to have in a game. I don't know necessarily how it would affect my purchasing power of buying the game or not, but I definitely would want to see it. It would definitely be like a show grabber for me.
Yep.
How about you, Jack? Would you want to see anybody in particular?
Honestly, I don't know. So far, my experiences have been spectacular in terms of voice actors that we discussed today. I can't think of a name on the top of my head that I would like to see, but I'm pretty sure that I would be happy to see any actor become popular or a voice actor become popular on the bigger screens or the video game industry, because the video game industry is humongous.
Yep, sure is.
I did just have a really funny thought.
Go ahead.
What's that?
So in games, I think the only one recently I can think of is Hogwarts, where you can like choose the voice. What if you could choose Adam Sandler as your voice, or Christopher Walken, or Tom Hardy
as your
Oh my
voice
gosh,
actor?
that would be hilarious.
See, that's hey studios.
Wow, I don't know.
That's like
you would need some AI generation for that.
I
Yeah,
don't know
that
why
would be
that just
really
popped
hard.
in my
That
head,
would be
but
pretty cool.
I had to share.
Yeah, you had,
That's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, your character can be John Wick's voice. Yeah.
That would be really cool to do that. Wow, that's amazing. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, I think that's it then, yeah?
Yeah, so if you guys please leave us a comment about who your
Join
favorite
us.
celeb
Hang out with
Join
us.
us.
Yeah, join
We've got a
us.
feedback channel. We've got channels just to hang out and chill, but if you want to give us feedback or suggestions, anything, we've got a channel for that. And we hope to see some people join and meet us and hang out.
Come
And
hang
I
out.
promise we won't ping you. I promise.
No
Yeah, we
pinging.
don't do
No
we
pinging
don't do
allowed.
at everyone. We do at
No.
Sakurai.
At
We don't do
Sakurai is
that.
fine. Other than that, please email us at player2start podcast@gmail.com or check us out on YouTube for all the audio podcast
All
platforms
the
we are on.
socials.
Everything. We are there.
Everything.
Also, one more big announcement before we go is that we do have a TikTok. We've been
do.
doing the Tiki Talks for about a week
Tiki-Taki.
now, and
Yeah.
we've been putting those Tiki Talks up.
Making some friends.
Yes. Well, I'll post that also in the description of this video and the further videos that we put out. So thank you for joining us today. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.